Picture this, a sports league that lasts just a couple of months but pulls in a mind-bending 1.19 billion viewers across its platforms. IPL, Indian Premier League. A league where a single game is valued at approximately $16.8 million in broadcast rights. And that is rupees 67 lakhs per ball. Yes, you heard it right. 67 lakhs per ball. That is more than the NBA, more than the MLB, and more than the English Premier League. In fact, globally, it sits second only to the mighty NFL. And the wildest part, this league didn't even exist before 2008. So, how did cricket, a traditional, slow-paced gentleman's sport in danger of losing its younger audience, transform into the billion-dollar IPL juggernaut we know today? It's a chaotic 30-year saga involving Bollywood royalty, media titan Rupert Murdoch, an underground match-fixing scandal, the Indian mafia, Disney, and a master manipulator who changed the sports forever. That is Lalit Modi. Let's rewind to the 1990s. At this point, franchisee cricket doesn't exist. There are no city-based teams like the NFL. All cricket is international, played between countries like India, England, New Zealand, Australia, and West Indies. But in India, the national team is rapidly becoming must-watch television. Their underdog victory at the 1983 World Cup electrified the nation. And with the Indian economy globalizing, TV sets are flooding into households. The undisputed king of broadcasting this cricket is Rupert Murdoch's Star TV. Enter Lalit Modi, a young man from a wealthy family, fresh out of Duke University in US. At Duke, Modi saw the sheer commercial scale of American sports, and he smelled a massive opportunity. Partnering with ESPN, Modi approaches the BCCI, India's cricket board, and boldly promises to outbid Murdoch. The BCCI happily accepts groundbreaking $20 million deal, but Murdoch doesn't back down. The two giants battle it out until they finally merge in 1996. And the catch is, Murdoch is furious that Modi forced him into an expensive bidding war. So he ruthlessly kicks Modi out of the new mega company, which is a very big mistake. Modi swears revenge and kicks off a 10-year crusade to take over the BCCI from the inside. By 2005, Modi officially gets elected as the vice president of BCCI, and he comes in like an absolute wrecking ball. First, he targets the team sponsors. The Sahara Group was paying just rupees 78 crore for period 2001 to 2005. Modi tells them to pay rupees 300 crore for period 2006 to 2009, which is almost four-fold increase from the previous contract. And because cricket is basically religion in India, they say yes. Next, he auctions the jersey logo rights. Nike wins it for an unprecedented rupees 195 crore for 5 years. Then comes the moment he's waited a decade for. Murdoch was currently paying the BCCI $15 million a year for broadcasting rights. Modi calls a press conference, literally tears up Murdoch's contract and sets a new minimum bid, which is $500 million, and Murdoch have 48 hours to match this bid. Murdoch bluffs, claiming no one will pay that much of money. But Modi calls the bluff, selling the rights to Nimbus for a staggering $612 million. In a matter of months, Modi turns the BCCI into an absolute cash cow and leaves his old rival out in the cold. But despite the money, cricket had a demographic problem. The traditional 5-day test matches and all-day one-day internationals were losing the younger generation. The sport needed an adrenaline shot. In 2003, England introduced 2020, a bite-sized, explosive 3-hour format. It worked, but purists treated it like a joke. Players wore wigs, umpires gave out joke red cards. Modi, however, saw the future. He planned an Indian domestic T20 league for 2009, but his timeline gets hijacked. In 2007, a rebel league called the ICL launches, backed by ZTV. It promises city-based franchises and global stars. Panicking about losing their monopoly, the BCCI crushes the ICL by threatening lifetime bans for any Indian player who joins this league. The rebellion dies, but it forces Modi to hit the accelerator. Then the ultimate catalyst. The 2007 T20 World Cup, India sends a team of absolute rookies. No one cares, but Modi steps into the dressing room and makes a promise. Hit 6 sixes in an over and I will personally buy you a Porsche. In a match against England, a young Yuvraj Singh does exactly that. 6 sixes in 6 balls. Yes, you heard it right. 6 sixes in an over. The crowd goes nuclear.
This is in the air again. Clears long goal. Make a difference. It doesn't. It's 4 in a row. 5. Yes. Last ball of the innings. And he's put it away. Oh, has he? Yes, into the crowd. 6 sixes in an over.
India rides that momentum all the way to the final, where they beat arch rival Pakistan in a nail-biter. Over 400 million people watch. When the team returns to Mumbai, the city shuts down. T20 had officially arrived, and Lalit Modi knows the IPL is ready to launch. Modi knows that 3 things make a sports league work: the best player, profitable teams, and competitive balance. To make it profitable, Modi needs massive TV rights. But he had just sold all the rights to Nimbus. And his genius pivot was change the target demographic. Make cricket a prime time family event. Bring in the women. Bring in Bollywood. He onboarded his old college buddy, megastar Shah Rukh Khan. With Bollywood's biggest name on board, the dominoes fall. Modi manages to secure a mind-blowing $1 billion 10-year TV deal with WSG and Sony with $60 million for the first year. Next, he auctioned the city franchises. He sets the minimum price for each team at $50 million over 10 years or $5 million a year. But in the first year, Lalit will distribute $40 million of the $60 million media rights revenue to each of the 8 teams. So each team cost a minimum of $5 million, but the owners are also guaranteed at least $5 million in revenue per year. It's a win-win deal for both franchisee and Lalit Modi. India's richest man, Mukesh Ambani, buys Mumbai for $112 million. Shah Rukh Khan gets Kolkata. But the real game changer is the player auctions. To keep teams balanced, Modi installs a hard salary cap of $5 million for each team. So each team can spend this $5 million during an auction night. Players go to the highest bidder. Best players who were earning $100,000 for their 12 months contract are suddenly signing $1.2 million contracts for 6 weeks of work. Cricket had never seen money like this. In 2008, the IPL launches. The very first game is pure cinema. Brendan McCullum hits an impossible 158 runs, a record which is still unbroken after 18 seasons of IPL. The stadium is packed with crowd, cheerleaders, fireworks and Bollywood royalty. The Rajasthan Royals, the team that spent the least, win the whole thing in true Moneyball fashion. Off the back of this success, Lalit ends up renegotiating the TV rights deal with Sony in 2009, now charging $1.6 billion until 2017. But absolute power corrupts absolutely. By 2010, the BCCI turns on Modi. He is slapped with 22 charges including kickbacks, bid rigging and illegal betting. Claiming the Indian mafia put a hit on him, Modi flees to London, where he remains to this day. Things get worse. A massive spot fixing scandal rocks the league, leading to two major teams, Chennai Super Kings and Rajasthan Royals, suspension. But ironically, this was the best thing that could have happened. The Indian Supreme Court stepped in, completely restructured the league and forced transparency. With trust restored, the value went to the moon. In 2017, Rupert Murdoch finally gets his prize, buying the rights for $2.5 billion. Disney later buys Murdoch's empire, heavily pushing the IPL to build Disney Plus subscriber base. Then in 2023 to 2027 cycle, the rights explode. Viacom 18, which is now merged into JioStar, and Disney split mega deal worth a staggering $6.2 billion. And on top of this, you have got central sponsorship from companies like Tata coming in at $200 million a year. The league pulls in over $1.5 billion annually before a single ticket is sold. And so, if you look at it on a per game basis, each game is worth around $16.8 million just in broadcast rights. There is no other league worth more, barring the NFL. All this money is built on the back of being able to advertise to a humongous Indian audience with ever-growing internet penetration thanks to the launch of Reliance Jio, reducing the cost of mobile data to nearly zero. But there is a dark cloud on the horizon, which is IPL fatigue. The league expansion in terms of teams and matches is inevitable. Could too much of a good thing ruin the magic? The star power of players like Virat Kohli and Jasprit Bumrah was forged in the fires of international cricket. If the IPL cannibalizes the international game, does it lose its soul? Either way, we are looking at a commercial titan. For better or worse, none of this exists without Lalit Modi, the controversial exile who dragged a gentleman's game kicking and screaming into a multi-billion-dollar reality. Thanks for watching. If you want more deep dives into the hidden business of sports, hit that subscribe button. See you in the next one.